Yo, what's good, people? Yes, it's your boy, Mecca, aka the Bros Bomber. Welcome to another episode of Bucking Around, powered by X's and Os. And we've got a special for you today. I know some of you, we had to kind of do something special for you people and kind of keep you guys guessing. So we've added a special show for you today. We've got some special guests in the building, and they're here to come and tell us about their program, tell us about how their preseason and so on is going, and how their ambitions for this season are going on. Most importantly, I've got a massive, big announcement for you all. We have now, the Exs and Os have now launched our merchandise. So we actually have some merch for you people to cop for your head top. Like I said, we've got some merchandise. You can get that. You can purchase that merchandise if you wish to do so and keep your swagger dripping. You can purchase that merchandise direct at Football America UK's team store. So if you go through the team wear section of Football America UK, you can have a look at some of our merchandise and couple of those. Like I said, as usual on our Insta, our link in our bio has a direct link to the merchandise. Like I said, cop that. Join the Exs and Os swagger, and let's keep it rocking. Hope everyone's good. I feel like this is a nervous week because this is the week where all the planning, all the programs, all of the playbook sessions, all of the taster sessions. Sunday is where we see where everyone is at. So it's going to be very interesting in terms of the results, in terms of the scores. I can't wait for it to kick off. I can't wait for the Bucks season to kick off. There's been a massive build-up. Teams have been putting in the work, and I want to see what have people really been doing. And yesterday, on Monday, we had we had a team on it. They said they want it back in blood. The exact statement was, "We want it back in blood." So this season, a lot of teams are putting in the work. Everybody wants to get to the playoffs. Everybody wants to match work. So like I said,
I can't hear you,
Yeah, it sounds gone.
can you hear me?
Yeah. No.
That whole intro, and no one heard me. Mad. But yeah. So like I said, I hope everyone heard me. If not, yeah, welcome people. For those people that don't know, introduce yourselves to the people that.
Coach, do you want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm James. I'm the defensive coordinator at the University of Portsmouth. Been here, honoured to be here for a long time now. This is my 9th season with the team, 5th year as the DC. Yeah, it's been an honour and it's great to be here. And I'll let Dan introduce himself, my superstar D-line.
Yeah, so I'm Daniel. Study at the University of Portsmouth, play for the Destroyers. This is my 3rd year, so I'm on my placement year, club captain. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So how's this kind of how's the season been going so far? A lot of teams have been doing some secret detective work and some secret cooking in the kitchen. What's this season been like for you guys so far in terms of preseason, in terms of the tasters and the rookies coming in? What's the general vibe amongst the youth?
I mean, from my point of view, we've had a great preseason, great off-season. To be honest, we managed to get a spring training program in, which we implemented first time over COVID, over the lockdown. Managed to keep that going last year, the end of last season. Got back into preseason around August with the vets, and then we've had a good month, I think, with good recruitment. University's got some good players down, players who've played before, players who haven't. There's some real talent. Yeah, really excited with who we've managed to recruit this year.
Have you had any good scrimmages? Have you had any? You managed to lock in some scrimmages.
So we unfortunately we were going to have a pre-season scrimmage with University of Chichester, but unfortunately due to transport logistics, they weren't able to come down in the end. But we had a good replacement kind of internal, almost black-white game for previous Sunday, which was a good eye opener to see exactly where we are. And I feel positive. Dan, I'm sure feels positive as well.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that session on Sunday, like training 4 hours and going head to head, we were able to see where we're at as a group. You know what I mean? But it was good because I felt like we were bettering each other and we were making each other better, sort of thing.
100%. 100%. Because there's some big pressures on your hands. I mean, I think the last time you guys won a Silver Ball was like, what, 2011? I mean, that's the last time.
Yeah, I think it was 2011, 2012.
2011.
That was the last like, national title, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last proper one.
Yeah.
We've had some other, we've had a Div 2 title on the way, if you want to count that.
Yeah.
Some sort of someone. But we're building towards eventually getting to that top one again.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, last season was tough. I mean, last season was a bruiser because obviously you had a playoff run where you guys were dominating. Everyone thought last season was the year. Like I said, Portsmouth. We had that we know, the you that we know. Like I said, who them boys really showed last season, and it was a crazy playoff run. Obviously, you came up short against the Demons in a close game, overtime. I think. What was that like? Because coming from a game like that, what was that experience like? What was the vibe after in the locker room? What was the the vibe after that game?
Yeah, I could tell you like hand on like on the field, like after we lost that game, like damn, like it hit me. I think that was like the first like loss that I played like in any form of sport where I felt like deflated, like because it was all left out on the field, and it was like damn, you lost like that, and it's your season's all done, sort of thing. So it hit hard. Exeter were a good team. It was unfortunate, you know what I mean. Things didn't go away that day, but we learned from it, sort of thing. But yeah, in terms of the whole atmosphere after the game, everyone was down because we knew where we wanted to get to, and we were so close.
Mad. So what is this season? Is this season the 90 season potentially? What are you saying?
So yeah, well, I'd say we're hoping so. You know what I mean? We got to take it game by game. Everyone, I feel like you got to think about it. Like there's 30 teams in Div 1. You know what I mean? Everyone's fighting to make it out, sort of thing. So it ain't gonna be easy at all. But you got to take it game by game, respect your opposition, but also, of course, you got to back yourself. You know what I mean? You got to go in, you got to train hard. This is why we're all training hard, trying to make each other better. You know what I mean? 100%. We know what it takes to be at the top, and we just got to put that work in.
I see. You got Playbook Customs sponsoring you guys for sponsoring the youth for a third year running. Can we expect to see some exclusive drip on the field this season? Because Daniel, I know you look like you drip too hard, you know. James, I know you got the swag on the sideline. So what we saying? Can we expect to see some exclusive cleats this season, or what's that sponsorship about?
James, you gonna take this one, or
you know more than me. We seem to miss out on the good new stuff. We seem to get the same hoodie every year, which I'm very grateful for. But it's we all tend to look pretty similar each year.
Okay, right. So you guys been putting some work in terms of the sponsorship and all of that. What's the kind of the plan behind that, or kind of the idea behind that? Is that a way to make subs and something cheaper for the players, or what's the motive in terms of that?
Yeah, essentially it's to bring in revenue for the club, because when you think about it, like the uni, like I feel like everyone's uni, their sport department only give them so much, and American football is an expensive sport, so getting sponsorships out there and connecting with local businesses within the area is good. You know what I mean? It helps bring in some revenue, get some exposure for the club within the city and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just good essentially, and plus it's helped towards our new kit that we've got for this season. We ain't going to talk too much about that because it ain't still been revealed yet. But
Trust me. Is there any? Can we get a little exclusive to when the date might be? When we might get? Are we getting a proper launch?
We're in production. We're in production of a teaser soon, so something might be coming out within the next week or so. But we're gonna keep it a bit shut.
I hear you, man. So obviously, everyone knows. Obviously, you've lost some veterans. The likes of Lawrence Cornwall-Baptiste, who's one of the NFL Combine invitees. Aiden Stammers, one of the QB. I don't know if he's coming back this season, maybe to do, or he's still there. Eddie Copo, Eddie Big G Copo, who was one of the stalwart kind of linebackers. So potentially, some people would say that the Destroyers are going to struggle. Some people might say the Destroyers are going to struggle. What do you say to people like that? Even though you've lost some key stalwart players or veterans, what's the Portsmouth vibe? What's the U vibe this year?
Well, speaking for myself, we're feeling good. Uni ball is one of the excitements about it is that every year you lose big players, you lose players every year's on a 3-year cycle. You never know really who you're going to get back until you turn up week 1 in pre-season. Young people, their plans change. Who knows who you get back. So we have to always be ready for that kind of opportunity. And those players you mentioned were big parts. But we've got a good amount of vets coming back. We've got some great leadership. We've got some talented young players last year who were kind of earning their way, in first year, making earning their way on special teams, as kind of getting into the rotation later on in the season. But personally, defensively, especially, I can speak for defensively. Personally, we're looking good. I'm very happy with where we are. You never know until week 1. You never know exactly what kind of team you're going to have until you step out on the field. What the mindset's going to be like, what the culture of the team's going to be like when you take those first few snaps. But right now, I feel positive. Actually, early on this season, we had some scrimmages. In season, I remember talking to the OC saying like, "This is a good team. This there's a good vibe here. There's a good feeling about where we are." Yeah, as I say, you can never be 100% certain, but personally, I'm confident going into the season.
Man, boy, I can't wait. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see you guys get that rolling. So tell me, obviously, I had a little scroll through your Instagram, and I saw something that made me think, what's that about? So tell me about this Destroyers Lift, because a couple of people don't know. Tell me more about this Destroyers Lift, because I know fundamentally it's a good cause, and I'm a sucker for doing things for a good cause and giving back and generating, it takes a community to raise, it takes a community to rally together. Coming from a community of myself where we all used to stick together and rally together. So tell people about this Destroyers Lift. For those that don't know, tell people about how this kind of came about and what it's about and how you guys have ended up so far.
Yeah, so essentially the lift was, like you said, like you're helping the community. Like there's only so much funds we get from the uni, and like a lot of our helmets were like running out of date and stuff like that. And to introduce more people to the sport, like we're trying to grow it out here in the UK and allow people the opportunity to play, we needed like new equipment. So we thought, let's do a fundraiser, let's get out and help each other and promote something of a good cause sort of thing. So like you're probably aware, Portsmouth is a naval city. So the Mary Rose is a famous ship within Portsmouth, and it weighs about 600,000 tons. Yeah. So about 20 of us boys, because we have a new gym facility that's opened on Freshers Fair, we literally lifted the whole weight and we managed to get it done. At certain points, we thought we weren't going to get it done, but we managed to get it done, and we raised quite a bit for it, which we were grateful for. Everyone coming around, even taking part. We had other societies, members of the uni just join in and take part, which is good. And at the end of the day, we're trying to build that community around the university sort of thing, and just introduce more new people to the sport, whether you play or not, you know what I mean? Sort of thing. It's just good to get out there and do something. But I thought it was a really good fundraiser in terms of actually promoting something.
Yeah.
It wasn't out. We were just going out there and just asking for money, sort of thing. Yeah.
Hey, listen, ain't no shame in that, Cost of living is real,
In life, you sometimes got to do that.
Trust me, man. Nah, that's it. No, I love that. So obviously, you guys are one of the few teams, not just to kind of deviate from that, to kind of hold like female-only sessions. Talk more about that. Your involvement in this, kind of this girl can movement. Coach, this is more or less for you, obviously, for the coaching stuff. Talk to us about, your plans in terms of kind of getting involved in this kind of this girl can movement and getting more girls involved in BUCs American football.
Well, I think it's a great initiative that we, other universities have done as well. But not saying we can take all the credit, but we're a university. We've got a good amount of female, players, people who wanted to join the team, and so we kind of we're starting to get more and more interest. We've had female players play for us in the past. Back years ago, there was the Portsmouth Destroyers women's only team, which I used to be a coach of actually, and they kind of became eventually kind of the foundation for became the Portsmouth Dreadnoughts women's team, which I was also the head coach of for a while. And then about the interest kind of started to come back, and we had a few female players play for us, and play really well, and some of them played games, some of them didn't feel quite comfortable yet. Already yet to play games, but we started to get more and more interest. So we decided late last year to put on a female only session to try and just really try and gauge what the interest would be if we ran that kind of session, because we do understand, whilst we are a mixed sport, it can be intimidating for female players to come into a new sport and with what is predominantly a male team at the moment. So we had this session and we had a good about 20 players turn up. the Portsmouth Dreadnoughts women's team, local team, were very grateful to some of their players and coaches came down to kind of help us as well. So we had some players with experience playing. And yeah, it was a great session. I think everyone really enjoyed it. I was there as well. I thought it was a great session. The atmosphere, the culture's great. Everyone really was just enjoying themselves, which is great because, especially at university level, the best thing we can do at university is introduce people to our sport. It's a fantastic opportunity to get young people who want to play a new sport, and male or female or any gender. And so that was great. And I'm hoping we can continue to do that in the future. We've had a number of female players join the team this year. I would say we're probably at the most we've ever been, which I think we should be really proud of. And we're really, and they're going to, it's good players as well. They're going to players who are going to make an impact, and we'd love to continue to grow that. In the future, if we were able to get enough to maybe have a women's team, I'd love that'd be fantastic. I'm not sure that's how much sustainable, how viable that is right now, but I think that'd be a great thing to aim to at the very least, or at least have more female players playing for us, because there's no reason why they can't, and it's a great gain for the team.
100%. Yeah, Daniel, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100% agree. Like I witnessed this girl Can last year, and like to see the amount of people that came and like actually took part. Like even one of the girls that took part actually went on to play for Dreadnoughts this year, and now like she's a part of us, sort of thing. And we've all just taken everyone in. We've got about how many girls have we got this year, James? About 4 or 5?
Probably more now, 6 or 7, I'd say, off the top of my head. But a few receivers, a few defensive backs, and looking very good as well.
Yeah, but it's literally like it's good to see more exposure, especially with like what happened in like Finland with like the GB women's team. Like the exposure out there, like get loads of people playing the sport. You know what I mean? It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Like I know what football's done for me on a personal level, and I want that to happen to other people, sort of thing.
Yeah. So what else? What else? Go on, coach.
I'll say also on that kind of line, we're quite proud that we've got quite a few female coaches as well that we've really tried to push and recruit more and more. We've had other female coaches in the past, and we'd love to kind of I know BAFCA have done a really good drive in trying to encourage teams through incentives, to get female coaches qualified. And we've got some great young coaches who I'm sure going to go very far in the men or women's game, wherever they feel they want to end up in.
So then, what would you say football has done for you? Because you mentioned about how it's had an impact on you personally. If you don't mind, kind of showing, because I'm one of those things. This show, sometimes we get a bit real. You understand? We get down and dirty, because you don't know. I always say you don't know who's listening, who's watching this, and who can relate. Because I grew up from East London, so a lot of my experiences, I've had the pleasure to kind of mentor some guys from my old school, and be part of like a mentoring program where we give back, and we talk to these guys, and so I want to kind of dig deeper. So what would you say, like personally, football has done for you?
I'd say like it's giving me something to strive towards. You know what I mean? Like I was coming from a point like just before COVID happened. Like I didn't know what sport to play. Like I was one of those kids that used to play football, but football wasn't for me, man. Even though I love it, it wasn't for me. I was looking for something, and then like one of my friends who like is on the Destroyers as well, like told me to come to a Blitz taster session. I went to it and I loved it, but then COVID happened. Then when I came to uni, I was like, I'm going to join Destroyers. The minute I joined, I've never looked back. You can even speak to my family members and everything. All I talk about is football and how I want to strive to get better and get to a high level within football. It's actually giving me something to aspire to, sort of like I'm playing it and like realizing that you've got potential there, sort of thing. Like has kind of opened my eyes. I'm just committed with it, and I just love the sport, and I love the whole community. Like the coaches, the people around it, like big up you guys, big up all the media platforms and everything. Like, you know what I mean? It is nice, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Talking to other, like, you could talk to other, like, players of other team and like relate just from football, you know what I mean? It's good.
Yeah. You remember your first session, your first rookie session, or first time you tried around football? What was that like?
Yeah, I remember when I turned up, like because it was COVID, everything was done in like sort of slots. I don't know if you can remember, James, that year. It was done in slots. They had us running routes, doing running back drills, the whole indie lot. And then after I was tired, but It was one of it was one of the most fun things I did, and like literally like because I came in like sort of thing, I was like to the coaches like I watched Last Chance You, and I was like, oh, I think I'm a big guy. I just want to play on the line. The minute I said I want to play on the line, I found myself on the offensive line side of things in my first year, and I loved that. Honestly, it was a great experience. But it was until I played my first year of junior ball last year at Blitz. It was where I realized that I think defensive line was probably the avenue for me, sort of thing.
So are you a Blitz lifer? Yeah.
Huh?
Are you a Blitz lifer?
So like I said, I started off at Blitz. You know what I mean? Blitz holds a place in my heart. But last season, like, because I've been down in Portsmouth the whole summer, like, I'm a solid Thrasher in it. So got to big up the Thrasher. Bird gang.
So what? I must have played you last season, though. I must have played.
I think I did. So you were at Kent Exiles, right?
Yeah. You remember?
Yeah. So I played the last 3 games at Thrasher. So the one at Test Park.
Okay.
When you guys were away to us.
Okay.
So I played that game. That was my first game.
We beat us still, so I can't be like, I have to hold that. Let's not get into that.
It was a good experience. So like, it was my first like adult ball game, especially at that level, and being able to test myself against like loads of guys, especially the line. You know what I mean? And like the running back, you guys have the quarterback, receivers. It was all good, man. It's good. I learned a lot last year.
100%. So like honestly, we talk about the rivalries. Are there any games this season that you guys, like both of you kind of, or the teams kind of looking forward to? That game that everyone gets extra pumped for. Like no matter what, even if you've got a little niggle, I'm playing. Even if you've got hay fever, I'm playing. Is there any game like that's non-negotiable that everyone has to be turned up for?
James, I'm gonna let you take the rules on this first.
I was just trying to think. Holloway is always going to be a big one. We've been in the same division with them for a couple of years now, and we've had some great battles. They play, their offense is a tough scheme to scheme against. It's a real unique view, so it's a real challenge. But they're a good solid team, and I think they're our number one targets as well, as kind of like University of Hertfordshire obviously as well. Hertfordshire always have their obviously huge history, big program, so they've got always got a target just because so much respect for what they've done over the years as a program. So we always look forward to that one. But we're in a real tough division this year. I think there is no easy team whatsoever. As there isn't in most of Div 1 football.
No.
But obviously our biggest rival is Southampton. We haven't played for a few years, but hopefully we'll somehow meet them in the playoffs this year. That's the one. So we always hope to get a chance against.
So, coach, what's kind of like your defensive philosophy? Like, what's your mantra? What do you look for in a defensive, like, let's just put the U player, because you guys talk about who them boys, talk about the U, you talk about bleeding purple. What does that mean to you? Like, what does stuff like that mean to you? How do you mold your defenses around that kind of philosophy?
Well, a lot of it is we want the mindset of doing things, not overcomplicating things, but doing things fast and aggressive. I always say we want to see aggression and violence is what we preach, day one, straight away. Was always looking for, if we're going to do something, let's do it aggressively and let's do it with absolute violence. Or between the whistles, we try to be respectful of between that as well, I guess I've got to say. But we, that's what number one, as a mindset of one aggression, we want absolute violence, we want physicality. In terms of like scheme-wise, we try to keep it relatively simple, just so we can focus on our fundamentals mainly. We want to be a good tackling team. For example, but it all comes down to we're aggressive the way we play, cool. We're aggressive the way we train, and we're just aggressive the way we hit. So number one is we got to kind of have that you bring it mentality kind of on the field, always up for a scrap on the field if it needs it. Bring that violence, always outworking everybody. So we're not doing anything. I'd say reinventing the wheel or anything. We're just trying to do everything well, fundamentally well, with just saying aggression and violence is our 2 words that we always talk about.
Dan, what's practice scrimmaging like? I know that's the part of practice I never miss. Even if I'm tired, I agree. That's the one part of practice I never miss.
I agree with you. 100%.
What's practice scrimmage like?
I feel like Coach James could agree with me on this one, where I'd say that like as an offense and as a defense, it's very competitive. we get into it. It's like that minute on scrimmage, we don't like each other. We always want to be better than each other, but it's making us better as a team because whenever we step off, we're always brothers. We all love each other. Whenever the whistle's gone, it's all love. But the fact that we have that competitive energy to push each other, to work harder, like it's good. And you can see in scrimmage, it's getting intense. You know what I mean? Especially towards as we're getting towards the season, you can see that it's paying off, sort of thing. Like we're always trying to better each other, really. I love the energy in scrimmage. When you hear scrimmage time, you know serious stuff's happening.
I know.
And I feel like that's a good offset to have onto the rookies as well, the people that are new to the sport, so they can see our culture and what the club's like, because the club's got history, you know what I mean? We want to carry that on. And we want to show people. And it's always important that everyone's brought in, sort of thing.
Yeah. Have you had some good interest from the taster days? You know, are you looking kind of strong in terms of the recruitment department?
I think so. We got good numbers this year. We know we've done the committee and our players themselves. They take the lead in our kind of recruitment. They've done a fantastic job, not only in terms of getting players to come to the first session, but we also about that's half the challenge. The next challenge is obviously that retention of players, and we've done. I'm really happy where we are, the amount of players we've got kept, and players who seem to be genuinely, enjoying it and loving it. Is the main thing. That we also feel like we've built a culture which people want to be a part of. But then, and on top of that, there's some serious talent coming through, and what we always say, if you're good enough, you're old enough, kind of thing. If you're a rookie who's never played before, but you're better than so and so, you'll play. And there's definitely some rookies who, they've only been in the sport for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. They were definitely going to push to have serious game time early on because they're looking really good. And that's a credit to our positional coaches as well. They've done a really good job of developing players and our veteran players as well. Who really took players under their young players under their wings and helped them out and really helped just improve people to get them ready. But recruitment-wise, I think pretty happy to be honest with where we are.
Yeah.
And also, just a touch, especially with bringing players in, one thing we always try and promote to players when we bring them in, of course we're trying to make them great football players and build a great program, but part of that great program is building great people, great men, great women, you know what I mean? And then because we're going to leave uni and go our separate paths, but we want people to be established with certain skills, sort of thing. We just want to be a good family to each other, sort of thing, and uplift each other. That's what we try and teach, and I hope that's laid a message on everyone this year, because our retention rate this year was pretty good.
Yeah. Is there anyone that we should? Is there going to be is there any hot prospect, any name that we should watch out for this season? That one of the young bucks that might come up and shut down the show. Is there any way that we should, or any couple of players that we should look out for this season?
There's a lot on both sides of the board. That's what I'm going to say. I can't even name. There's a lot. You know what I mean? That I'm going to be looking for early reps, and I feel like coach could probably agree.
We know we've got some real young players, coming through. Veteran players. Our D line's looking great. As Dan as himself is going to, I'm sure, is prep for a big year. We've got some other great young D line bringing through. We've got more size this year than we have in the past. So I'm really, really excited for. We've got some great, vets. Just name drop. We've got. Torbay, Josh Riley, who's our 5th year middle linebacker, who's possibly his last year. Well, we all assume it's probably
experience.
His last year. Experience. But I know how much he's our defensive captain this year, and I know how much it means to him, and he's taking his game to another level. So I think he's going to really have a big season. But we've got some young players coming through, especially. Don't put too much pressure on them, but they're going to make some impacts, I'm sure.
Yeah, I saw you signed that NFL Academy prospect on the whole line. Is that confirmed, or is that?
Yeah, that's confirmed.
See, I see Danny Israel trying to keep that low key. It's on the Instagram,
bro. That one's there.
Like I said, we're excited to see what the U season is going to be like. We also see you've got some signings from the Renegades, some ballers from the Renegades, obviously. Some guys from the Exs and Os coach or used to coach for the Renegades, so they know some of those players inside and out and know what they're capable of doing. So we can't wait to see those guys kind of flourish under a good program like the Destroyers. So we can't wait for that to get popping. Then I'm hearing Purple Wednesdays is back, and I heard Pop was a little vibe, So tell me what's that like? What's that whole? Obviously Purple Wednesdays is back. What's the vibe around that?
Yeah, Purple Wednesday essentially is our like social night. So like it brings together the whole community. So all the sports clubs, BUCs Wednesdays, like even though like American football we play on Sundays, BUCs Wednesdays, all the teams come out, they come out after, they have a good time, connect, everyone links up with each other, sort of thing. It's sort of to build that connection within the community and just make us more of a tight family. And I think that's what we're all aspiring for this year within all the sports club. Because I feel like if we're all on a positive vibe with each other, we're gonna all play well. And yeah, it's showing already, as you can see, like a lot of our uni teams right now that have started playing are all doing well and started the season well, which we like to see and always support. And yeah, it's always good to get people out there. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be surprised. A lot of the boys are all out already right now.
Trust me.
Sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like you said, Pop World is back. People are there enjoying themselves, and yeah, man, it's just that time of the week,
Yeah.
A lot of people have a good old Purple Wednesday here.
Yeah. What's Portsmouth like generally? Like the area or the vibe around the area? Is it nice as well? Is there any good places to eat when you go up there? I'm trying to. Me and SJ, we're trying to go around and do a whole liquid tour. So like, is there anywhere nice to eat or stay, or what's the place to be happening? Or is it on the campus?
Yeah. James, I'll let you start off with this one. Then I'll talk more from a student perspective.
Portsmouth is a great city. I love it more than most people. I always tell people it's the best city in the world. And I get an odd view when I tell people that. But I'm not from Portsmouth, but I moved to Portsmouth when I was a student and never left, as I always say. So I fell in love with it straight away. It's a good place. We've got Gunwharf Quays, which is a great, it's a good place. It's a great city. It sometimes gets a bit of an unfair rap, I always think, because it's a city full of significant history. We've got the dockyard. We've got serious, history dating back to World War II. There's a lot, there's a lot of history, and you feel that in Portsmouth. I think it's a very proud kind of community. The fact that we are, on an island by ourselves, there is that kind of feel of like unity together. It's a special place. A place I'm very, very fond of.
Yeah, I could agree with him on that. Like, I've come to the uni and sort of thing, like, and like first year was hard because it was COVID year, so you couldn't really like explore. But over the last like 2 years and stuff like that, like I've actually enjoyed the city. You know what I mean? Like I like it, sort of thing. It's like like I said, it's my second home. North London's my original home, but it's my second home, and I take it in. You know what I mean? Like what I like about it is that you can get around here like quick, you know what I mean? It's all small, it's densely populated, but it's quick to get from A to B, sort of thing, and it's like a city, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's very diverse as well. With the uni being there in the center of things, you meet a lot of people. And there's a lot of nice things to do, man. The beach is there.
Jeez.
There's some food places, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, Gunwharf Quays is a nice place. Yeah, Portsmouth's a nice little place.
Yeah. Where are you from originally? Where are your parents from then?
Nigeria.
So you can get jollof rice there. You get jollof rice. How much is plantain? 4 for 5 pounds?
To be fair, it's cheap. It's cheap. There's a place on the corner from mine that sells some stuff, but like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you try to cook your own stuff. We'll bring, you know what it is? I go back home and then bring it back.
Pack food. Yeah, I know.
That student, prime time student.
You know there was. I know, man. Brilliant. So you got a game coming up this Sunday. I think it's this Sunday. You got a game coming up.
Week on Sunday.
Next week. Yeah.
Damn. So we've got Roy Hellaway to kick off. How you looking forward? How you guys looking forward to that game?
Yeah, we're excited. There's nothing like that first game day of the season. I suppose it is generally like Christmas morning. I was thinking is the whole thing about it, especially an away game. I love it. Getting the coach journey down. It's just a great feeling. I've always been getting back into the season, and Holloway are going to be a serious test. I think we'll find out, both of us, where we are. We had some really tight games last year. I think we won one, lost one at home, then beat them 7-6 with a field goal that went off our long snapper's head and bounced over the goalpost, which is about as tight as I think it can be. So we'll see if we can get any closer than that. But it's going to be, I'll be amazed if it's a high scoring game. I think it's going to be a tough, game of few points, but a real close one.
Yeah, that's going to be a battle. That is going to be a battle. Like Holloway, good program. They run things well. You can see they're all disciplined, sort of thing, and their scheme is good. But same way we're all disciplined. Like it's going to come down to who really wants it, sort of thing. Sort of thing. And yeah, like Coach said, it's going to be a test for both of us, sort of thing. I feel like we're both looking forward to it. It's just who comes out on top.
Most definitely. On a side note, you know them sailor hats that I see some people wearing. How does one get them that sailor hat? Because I'm not gonna lie, that's what that's kind of drip, I want one for myself. If you guys can get me a sailor hat, I'll replace it with this because I don't think you all know why I'm wearing this hat. If you don't know, I'm trying to get Coach Jason Scott's attention because obviously he bleeds orange, and I'm trying to get his attention, but I don't know if I've reached out to him because he's left the time of Phoenix, but we won't go into that. But yeah, I'm trying to get his attention, but I haven't been able to do so. So that's why I'm wearing this orange hat. So if you guys can get me that sailor hat, I'll replace it with this all day. Yeah?
Respect.
What you say? But yeah, most definitely.
We'll try to
So
get personal.
2 minute drill, let's get into it. So the 2 minute drill is where we are walking around allowed to ask either of our guests any question we like. You got 2 minutes under 2 minutes to answer the question. You can't off on with the play. It's one more play and you're done. So, Coach, I want to ask you. In fact, I want to ask both of you. What's your message for offenses in Div 1 this season?
Oh, it's a tough one. I guess we'll go.
Don't choose our words wisely.
Right, I'd say they should fear us. We're looking good. I'd say we're going to come after teams. We're going to hit very hard, and we're going to make plays. We're looking, we're going to be more aggressive than we've ever been. I think in terms of play call, in terms of mindset, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think hopefully week 1 we'll make a statement.
Dan, what do you say?
The one from what Coach said. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, we're ready this year, man. We're ready. We started off rough last year, but we're ready this year. And I feel like the energy is there, and we know what it means to each other. We're on that same wavelength, positive vibes, but aggression, like we said, from minute 1 to the end, sort of thing. So yeah, we're ready to cause teams problems. But yeah, we're just trying to go into the season humble and just work hard. It's a grind.
Yeah,
it's not going to be easy, but we can get through.
Yeah, Div 1, like you said, Div 1's a dogfight, man. Everybody's trying to get out of Div 1 and into that golden city, the Prem. Everyone's trying to get into that golden city. But like I said, I'm excited to. In fact, even Div 2, everyone's trying to get out of Div 2. So this season,
year, that's competitive.
Yeah. So like I said, this season, everybody's trying to get out of that situation. But like I said, I can't wait for it to kick off. I think this week we've got some kickoffs this week, so we can't wait to see that. We'll be watching your game as well. Wish you all the best for that. Like I said, we're wrapping up the show. Thank you both for coming onto the show. I know it's late. I know it's one of them, but it's been a vibe. I can't even lie. This has been fun. Good to catch up with you. Wish you all the best for the season. Most importantly, don't be strangers. Like I said, we might try and get you back on here, see how the season's going, and we might try and get you back on. But like I said, thank you. Like I said, all you people in the free seats, we see the love. Like I said, appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, like, share, subscribe on all things like Exs and Os. As we said earlier, we've released our merchandise. You can go and cop those from Football America UK. Just search X's and Os, or check the link in our Instagram bio, and we'll direct you straight to our Football America UK shop. Like I said, you can also reach the Portsmouth Destroyers at
BUCs American Football on Instagram.
Cheers, there you go.
Like the whole set.
Go follow them, man. Like I said, this has been BUCcin around. Being part of the U. Like I said, all the best for the season. Peace and love.